So I get asked a lot about how to play 99 Nights in the Forest, and if you're watching this video to learn how to play, you're in the right place. 99 Nights in the Forest is a survival game where, big surprise, you need to survive 99 nights, at least 99 nights. And I say at least because you can continue on for as many nights as you want. You see there's a couple badges here for 250 days and survive 500 days. But the game's really about 99 nights. You can play either solo or you can play with up to 5 players. We're gonna go solo. So you start out with this small campsite here. You also have a campfire, which we need to put some wood in to start it up. We have a crafting workbench here, some indicators on what resources you have in there. And then we got this grinder thing. You can see it's got like a little square, and you're gonna pretty much drop stuff in there to fill these up. So in order to be able to craft stuff, you do need these resources. 2 main resources are gonna be wood, scrap metal. This one right here is the cultist gem, and you don't need these until a little bit later. So don't worry about that for now. You'll get those just in time. You also start out with a old sack here, which is pretty much where you're going to put your inventory. It's like a backpack. And then you've got this old axe, which is, you know, what you're going to use to kill stuff initially and chop down trees. You're also going to notice this sign over here that says missing kid locations. Don't worry about this for now, but this is pretty much an optional thing. It does help you like get through the days, but it's not required. I'll explain that in more detail in a little bit. The other thing you're going to notice is there's these barriers, right? So you can see gray barriers. This is your current map. And as you level up your campfire, that's going to expand. You're going to be able to explore further into the forest. You have 3 primary resources in the game. I showed you wood earlier, and you get those from trees. You also have the scrap metal, which you're going to loot in the forest. You don't have to worry about that for now. And then you have the food. So you can see I've got a hunger bar right here, the little fork and the knife. If this goes all the way down, I start taking damage until I die. So you want to keep an eye on this. This is kind of important. This is the survival part, especially this part. And you can eat food by hovering over food like this. I basically hit E on that. By eating it, it fills this up a little bit further. You can also hold shift to sprint. That will drain your hunger a little bit faster. So it is nighttime now. We need to get some wood. We don't really want to be in the forest. You can see this guy right here. He's not going to attack me because it's night 1. But, or day 1, he doesn't like the light. So that's why you want to light up your campsite with some wood. And you can see it says level 1 progress 60, and it's kind of draining pretty quickly. So we need to level this up, and that means we need to go get some more wood. Now you can see when I'm away from my campsite, there's this icon that represents the campfire, and you can use this to kind of like figure out where to go when you're coming back. Also, you can see the sapling here. You could put that somewhere outside of your camp so you can get more wood a little bit easier later. But we're just going to put some more in here, and we just upgraded our campfire, and that's a level 2 fire. So the map got extended or expanded, and we can go out further if we want. You'll see this line right here. These lines kind of like are circled. This is pretty much the barrier where the deer cannot enter. So if you're being chased by the deer at nighttime, you can just kind of cross this and he can't like go beyond that. He'll stop right here. He'll like scream and he'll run away. Now you'll probably notice I did pick up some wood earlier, and pretty much just hit F. It's like Dead Rails and a lot of these other games. And then for the sapling, all I do is just drag this, and then I hit E to plant it. So I'm hitting E, there we go. And you'll also notice this pelt trader here. Let me go ahead and put this back in the fires because we need it. There's this pelt trader here. You can see he's asking for a bunny foot. The pelt trader is kind of necessary to get done by day 2. And you can see there's a wolf out here as well. We need to kill that too. We need pelts. These guys have a chance to drop pelts. These guys have a chance to drop feet, like a rabbit foot. They're pretty common too, but we can also eat that meat. Oh, here we go. Bunny foot. Let's go bring this back to him real quick. All right, I just got a good axe, and you can see it's way better looking. It does a little more damage. For the first time becomes day 2, and later on it's like every 3 nights. You do want to get like a wolf pelt if you can. If you could try to do it like day 1, that's a good idea. So as far as food goes, you can eat the meat that you pretty much get from drops from wolves and rabbits. So like these 2. But you can't eat them. Like if you eat this directly, you're going to take some damage. So what you want to do is drop it on your fire here. Just hit F to drop it, and then you can hit E to eat them. And that gives you a lot more food than the carrots. Alternatively, you can just come out here and eat the carrots. Now these gray areas, you can see it's kind of gray here. This is like an area that you haven't traveled through or discovered. So once you go in, it'll fade away. That's just kind of like what we call fog of war. Now there's some more food over here. Let me grab that and we'll cook it. And we eat that. All right, we're good here. Let me go try to find some wolf pelts before the night arrives. Oh, it's too late. So yeah, we're gonna have to wait until the next time the pelt trader comes around. He's gonna come. He'll be back in like 3 days. Now, if I get stuck out here because it is turning night, the deer will actually chase me. And there's 2 ways you can avoid the deer. One is, oh yeah, we need to get some more fire. We need some more firewood. We need to fuel that. If the deer chases me, he's going to stop pretty much at this line. Alternatively, if I had a flashlight, then I could blind him and stun him temporarily until I get back to my camp. I don't have a flashlight yet. We will get one, but you can see these fireflies here. These can also be used to recharge your battery for your flashlight, or you can just arrive back at your campsite and recharge your battery. Basically, you need light to recharge your battery. Oh, there's some coal. Now, you could use corpses like this guy. This is a dead alien. You could use this to fuel your fire too. So if you ever get raided later by cultists, you could put them in the fire like that. The coal is a great way to fuel your fire too. You can see we just got an upgrade. So now we're map level 3 and it's daytime. So the deer can't come out during the day. So you don't have to worry about him during the day. And you'll notice the pelt trader is gone. You also notice right here, it says multiplier ×1 after the day 3. There's ways you can get extra multipliers to help you like accelerate to get to day 99 faster. And if you were with the team, by the way, you could get revived by them from their bandages. So if they had some bandages or med kits and you die to like the deer, or maybe you die trying to kill some wolves or bears, which will happen, they can revive you. Otherwise, if you're by yourself, you're kind of on your own and you would have to spend Robux to basically revive yourself. So when you're first starting out, you only need to worry about your hunger and wood. And so we got some wood here. You can use the wood to, you know, fuel your fire, or you can grind the wood here. And I'm actually going to make a map because, you know, that's one of the first things you want to make so that you can see the map. So we can just go ahead and take that blueprint out. We could place it somewhere. We'll put it over here. And you can see it's basically a map on there, or you can hit M and there's the map. Now, this is right here is the barrier of what we're allowed to see or visit right now or explore. Then this gray right here is the fog of war. This is the areas you haven't explored yet. And then there's various icons on the screen. You'll see like treasure chests and other kinds of, you know, points of interest on that as you explore. So like I said, leveling up your campfire does a couple things. One is, you know, increases this barrier. So if I were to upgrade the campfire again, this would expand out even further, which is going to reveal like new mobs, new, you know, points of interest, new loot areas. You can expand this all the way up to level 6. You can use like fuel canisters and barrels, oil barrels and such. So here's a cutscene showing that there's kids missing and you got to go rescue these guys. Now, rescuing kids only does one thing, and it adds the multiplier bonus to your days. So what does that mean? Well, you see right here, you got this missing kid sign, and this is completely optional. You don't need to do this. If I were to rescue that kid, the next time it turns morning or day, because right now it's technically nighttime, the next day, ooh, we got like aliens invading too. The next day we'll actually have a multiplier. If I had this kid rescued, it helps us get to 99 days faster. Now, UFOs are a recent addition to the game. You'll see UFOs all across the map. And you see this one's crashing right here. A bunch of them are crashing. And these are just like loot areas. They help you, you know, you can get like ray guns and stuff. They're kind of optional content. You don't really need them. So like I said, hitting M is going to now show you all these different icons. This is the furniture trader over here. So map is super useful. You can get around a lot easier knowing where you're at. So if I need to get back to base, I know it's right there. Besides wood, there's such thing as scrap metal. You saw this little thing right here, this icon, that's metal. So you have wood and metal in the game. And this right here is an item that shows a bolt above it. So that's basically going to represent a single bolt. Now, some items out here in the woods or forest will have different items that have more bolts. So you might see something that has like 4 bolts above it. That would be the equivalent of like 4 metal. And all you got to do is just drop that into the grinder. You know, see that one's 1. And when we're crafting stuff, you'll notice some things require metal. So this crafting bench too needs 1 metal or scrap metal and then 5 wood. So like I said, we crafted the map. The next thing you're going to want to craft is going to be a farm. And the reason why is we need food. And the farm does require 10 wood. And we're also going to need some more wood for here. So we're just going to go and cut these down. These are some saplings like, you know, planted earlier. And it says right here, I'm going to be attacked tonight. Return to my fire. So I'm going to explain that in a second. Let me go and replant these first. Grind that wood up. So every now and then cultists will attack you at night. Because I'm solo, there won't be too many of them. It's just going to be a handful of them. But what they're going to do is they're going to try to raid my base. See right here, it says mysterious group makes its way towards your campfire. And it's showing 4 of them right now. I don't believe it's going to be 4. Sometimes it's just 2. But we need to kill these guys without dying. Now, if you just run away and don't kill these guys, then they're going to start attacking your campfire, and that makes you pretty vulnerable because you're not protected from the deer. You see right here, this is the cultist gem. We can go and grind this up. Actually, we're going to keep this on the side just in case we want to use the anvil later. I'll explain that in a bit. These coin stacks, there's currently only one use for these coin stacks, and that's the furniture trader. And he only visits every now and then, and you can just buy furniture for your base. It's not that important. So basically, you don't really need coin stacks currently, as of this video. They might add more purposes for mossy coins like this, but right now it's kind of like, whatever. Let's go and use these cultists for fuel. But let's get back to these crafting items. I'm going to explain some of these. So the old bed, it requires 20 wood. Now beds basically increase your counter by 1. So you can see right here, it's going to say day 5. If I had the old bed, it would be +1 on this multiplier. So it would go ×2, and the next day would actually be 6. Hey, it looks like the pelt trader's back too. And we got a storm. Great. Our fire might go out, but let's handle this trader. So let me go get a wolf pelt before he leaves, because we kind of need that. Oh, we got it. Okay, so we're going to grab that. We'll also grab these. All right, let's take the wolf pelts. Let's go and get a spear, because this is a really good weapon. It's going to help us do a lot. The next thing he wants is an alpha wolf pelt, and then after that, he's going to want a bear pelt. Now, these are a little bit harder to get. They're also further out, so you're going to see alphas around this area, and then bears will be the furthest out. Right now, if we were to cut down trees, you can see it's raining. It's going to cause wet wood, and you can't use those to fuel your fire. So you see it's going to turn blue. And there's only 2 ways to dry it out. One is just to wait for the rain to stop and then, drop them. Or you could put them inside of a rain shelter for the wood, which is this right here, wood rain storage. But I'm just going to go and drop this since the rain stopped. It's going to dry it out. And while that's drying, I'm going to go get some more wood. And there we go. And it's dried out. So I'm going to go take that and put that in as well. So now we need to go back to making our farm. So we have 2 more wood needed. We'll make our farm just so we have a food source. All right, we have enough to make our farm. So we're going to go and make that. Farm plots, they grow carrots every 2 days. So you're not going to be able to get carrots right away. You're going to want a lot of these eventually. But for now, we'll just stick with the one. You're going to be able to convert carrots into stew eventually as well. But we need to get upgrades to our tiers before then. So we're still working with the first tier crafting workbench. The crock pot's down here. And so we kind of need to keep working on this. So now what we should do is try to get 20 wood so we can increase our day counter. So we're not like in this game for hours and hours. So you're going to need some weapons. And fortunately, this game is loaded with weapons. There's so many weapons to choose from. And most weapons can be looted from treasure chests scattered around the map. Oh, here's one right here. And we got revolver ammo and a revolver. So now we can, if you hit E, by the way, you got to hit E to pick stuff up on those. You can't drop the ammo, but you can drop the weapon. If you have like friends and you're like, oh, dude, I don't really need this. Hit backspace to drop. And then, of course, they can loot it. Just be careful because you're limited on ammo. Once you run out, you kind of need to find more or you need to craft some. There's also these buildings you can loot from. I haven't even done this one. Here's some coal. Here's the deer himself. So if you let him get too close, he will slash you and cause damage. And if he kills you, then you kind of need to get revived. So don't do that. He will teleport too. Just because he's over there doesn't mean he can't teleport over here. All right, we found another chest. So these could end up with a lot of cool items. There are different rarities of chests. There's common chests that look basically like a little toolbox. Ooh, I already have a good axe. No, I'll take that instead. So there's different rarities you can get. The best is going to be ruby. Kind of rare to get. This is like a common one right here. Let me go and get these. See what's in it. So there's common chests, good chests. Ooh, there's a diamond right there. We'll explain diamonds later. There's legendaries, iron chests, gold chests, ruby chests, and alien chests. Ruby chests are kind of rare and random. You're pretty much guaranteed them inside the stronghold runs. So if you're doing the stronghold, you're pretty much guaranteed those. Those are going to be the best ones because they have like really OP items in them typically, or rare. So you can get like a chainsaw, you can get like a tactical shotgun, thorn body armor, all kinds of stuff. The alien chests, which are inside the alien mothership, which I did a whole video about if you want to learn more about that, has like alien armor and various like alien weapons. Gold chests are pretty good. They're usually going to have something really OP in them. And then as far as the different types of weapons, there's katanas, which is pretty much the same as the spear. It's just a skin version of this. The katana you can get using the assassin class. I'm not going to explain classes just yet. We'll explain that a little bit later. You can get like rifles. You can also get armor. So I mentioned, thorn armor, but there's leather armor that's pretty easy to get. We're going to go find that, in fact. You can also get iron armor, and then there's alien armor that you can get inside the spaceship. You just need to go around the map and loot. That's one of the most important things, and also run away from mobs if you see them. Get some ammo right there. Nice. Oh, here's some more scraps. What we're really looking for right now is a better sack so we can store more things, and it looks like just some more ammo. You can only have one of each type of weapon, by the way, so you can't get like 2 revolvers. So we're gonna get back to camp before this deer slashes me. I'm going to grind this up. So we got 16 of that. I'm gonna go and craft a bed finally so we can skip days. And the next thing we're going to build is this. So we just need 5 wood. We're going to go and upgrade our workbench so we can get to tier 2. All right, we got enough. Let's go and upgrade our craft bench. That's going to unlock all these items right here. The 2 most important things out of this entire list, besides the obviously upgrading your crafting workbench at some point, is going to be 1, the sundial, and I'm going to go and show you that right now. We're going to go and place it. What I like about the sundial is you can see the timer here. It tells you how long you have before it turns into day, and then once it's daytime, it'll tell you how long you have until it's nighttime. So if you're trying to like manage your time while you're looting or doing stuff, you can have an idea of like how long you have until things go bad. So you can see now I've got daytime and it's going to start the timer. So let's go explore. There's the furniture guy, by the way. This is a furniture trader. He just spawned. So we'll head over there and say hi to him. We have a little bit of mossy coins, so I need food too. Now, if you're in a pinch where you need food while you're out here and you're nowhere near your camp, you can look for berries. So there's some berries right here. This is like a great way to like survive. Let's see if we can find this guy. There he is. There's his horse as well. So I'm gonna go and talk to him. I'm gonna go buy. We'll just buy a couple chairs. Oh, great timing for lightning. So you can see I almost died to lightning. There are weather events. So like I said, rain is going to start putting out your campfire, which is bad. So it does take away your progress for fuel. So if you're trying to upgrade your campfire, it's actually accelerating the loss. Oh, I really need food too. About to die. Let's eat before I start taking damage. There we go. And you can see I got struck by lightning, right? You can't really protect yourself from lightning while you're out here. At your campsite, you can eventually get a lightning rod, much like the one in Dead Rails. And, you know, that'll protect you from lightning strikes when you're at your camp. I will explain the fairy as well in a little bit. She's not that important. So I'm going to go and make the next bed here just because we want to accelerate our days. We also got some of these chairs from the furniture guy. If you ever want to be able to move these later, you do need a hammer. You can craft the hammer from the anvil. It's not revealed yet, but there's like a workshop in the forest that you can basically unlock. If you want to learn how to use the hammer or get the hammer, definitely watch my video for the decorator and the furniture trader. But let me go and kill these guys real quick. By the way, when the cultists raid you, make sure you kill this guy first. He's the crossbowman, and he will absolutely destroy you if you don't kill him first. These guys are easy. You just need to kite them, which means hit them from afar. Right now, what we're going to work on is rescuing one of the kids. So I can show you the whole process for that. You do have to go in a particular order. If you go outside of that order, it kind of gets bugged. Make sure you don't get bugged. So what you need to do is you have to go in order. Once you've rescued this one, you can go on. You can end up accidentally trying to rescue a child first. And if you do it ahead of time, it's going to break stuff. I mean, they may have fixed that, but to my knowledge, it breaks. So when you go in here, you click on this, it's going to show a little arrow that hints where it's going to be at. So we need to go behind us, and it's somewhere over there. We head in the direction it's telling us, or we can kind of take a shortcut here and build a compass. Compass is going to tell you where that kid is. So we're going to go and build that. And now you can see on the compass, there's a little character icon. That's where we need to go. So that's where the missing child is. So we can head over there. We are going to need to kill a bunch of mobs that are protecting it. But typically you'll see this hill or mound. And then there's going to be some mobs that have collars on them. The first one's going to be wolves. Second one's going to be like alpha wolves. Third one's bears. And fourth one's bears. But we have to kill these, the ones with the red collars. You don't have to worry about the other ones that aren't collared. I'll still kill them anyway. You can see I'm kiting these guys where they can't damage me. Got one more here. Because I'm running while I'm running away from them as I attack. But we just need to drag this red key over to the red lock, much like Piggy. And then once we come in here, we're just going to take the sack or bag, and we're going to put the kid in the sack like that. And we need to bring them back to my base. And we're just going to check what's in this chest. Okay, we got a box of seeds. So I'll go and use those. I'm going to plant fireflies. So once we get back to our campfire, we're just going to drop the kid, and he's going to set up a little like a tent. There he is. He's going to set up a tent. And now it's basically we get an extra bonus day. So you can see it says days will now increase by 4. So you do have the wood rain storage, like I told you a little bit earlier. You also have a shelf. This is kind of nice if you're just like trying to organize. Maybe you're, cooking stuff or putting supplies somewhere. Don't need it solo, but if you're playing with other friends, you could use that. You also have bear traps you can craft. You could have a total of 8, and you have to set them on the ground to trap enemies. The downside is you can end up trapping yourself on accident. It's no good. So I don't recommend the bear traps at all. But now what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade our crafting bench. We need 10 of those and 15 of those. So we need stuff. That means I need to go loot. Now, when you're grinding wood, it doesn't matter if it's wet. You'll see it still counts. It's only when you're trying to fuel your fire, which is about to go out. It's okay if it goes out. I'll explain what happens when it goes out. So you're going to notice the fire has gone out. Now, one thing you're going to notice is there's no more dotted lines on the ground. So that means you're no longer safe from the deer at night. And then the other thing is I can't use a map. So you see the campfire is out. I can't see where I'm at. The other thing is if you're out in the dark, you won't be able to see where your campsite is because you can't see an icon. So you do want to keep your fire going. There we go. As your campfire gets bigger, the slower it drains, by the way. So you don't always have to keep like going crazy about this. By the way, fun fact, if you die to a bear trap, you get a secret badge. Called humiliation. All right, we have enough to upgrade our bench as well. So we're going to go and do that. There we go. So now we're starting to get into an area that's way better for us. We have the ability to craft a crock pot. This is huge. The other really important one is the biofuel processor because you can fuel your fire a lot faster with wood and food. And then you have a good bed, which you can craft, which, you know, obviously is going to help you with the days. Crockpot's going to help you make stew. And all you need is 3 pieces of food to craft a stew. So I'm going to show you what that looks like right now. We'll pick these up. We'll make 3 of them. Place those in there. And the other thing you can use is meat, which is kind of nice because you don't need to cook it. So if you run out of carrots, you can always go grab, you know, morsels. And you can also queue it up. So if you stack a bunch of food at the base of it, it'll automatically put it in and it'll keep making it. So like if I grab this meat over here, grab some carrots, I can drop it at the base. And it'll keep cooking. Despite the fact that I didn't pick this one up, it'll keep cooking. Let me go and eat real quick before I die. You can see how much it filled up my hunger bar a lot. That's super helpful if you have like a really big farm. You can just drop a ton of carrots at the base of that thing and it'll keep cooking. So when you come back, it's like got a ton of food for you. So now pretty much our worries of starvation are gone. Like we're pretty much set from this point on. So I don't typically craft this thing, but I'm going to do it just for the tutorial. We also are going to craft the good bed because that's going to give us an extra day. We got torches here that we can use to expand the map visibility. So basically having more torches will expand this part out further. So I basically have a bigger base. So you can see our map is bigger now that we upgraded that campfire. These are the alpha wolves. They got red eyes. Kind of look like me. DV wolves. All right, this is the anvil workshop I was telling you about earlier. This is why we're saving those cultist gems or charms. And you have to break the barrier down. There's some cultists inside as well. So you got to be careful with these. You should be fine as long as you know, if you have a gun or something, shouldn't be too bad. It doesn't take that much to break, 15 seconds or so. I'm going to go and kill these guys with my revolver. Always a crossbowman first. So we're going to head in. I'm going to show you how to craft this thing real quick. You just need to go and find all the pieces. Just drag that, climb up. Drag that down, drop it on the anvil. We'll just pick it up, drop it. Go up here and, ooh, rifle. Take that. And you can just drop this. There we go. We completed it. Now we can come over here. And how this works is the first one you do, the first one you select is the one you're going to craft. Now you can see right here, riot shield is going to be 4 cultist gems, a bunch of pellets, some alpha pellets, and then scraps. I'm going to go ahead and do this one because we're saving the cultist gems for them. And you need scraps, so you just drag it onto the anvil. So those are the materials that we're working on. So we're going to finish up this biofuel real quick. So biofuel right here, it requires 12. So we're going to go and craft that. And to place it, you'll see the little preview. See the little dip right here? So as the input, this needs to drop into the fire. So this is going to be fine, but let's just move it just out of the way here. We'll put it right there. That way the stuff comes out here and into the fire. So I'll just show you how that works. So you want to use this biofuel for the wood from here on. You don't want to like put it directly in the fire because it's actually going to be better than putting it directly in the fire. So let me just show you one. See how small that was? If I put in here, you can see it's just a little bit more. And then you can obviously put food in here. You can also put pelts. Like if you have like rabbit feet and stuff that you're like, what do I do with these? Drop them in there and it can be used for fuel too. You can also do a boost pad. This basically just gives you like a nice little speed boost. Helps you run around the map faster. We're not going to craft that today. Good bed, we're definitely going to craft because it's going to help us get a little further to 99 days. Torch, we're not going to worry about because it just increases this, you know, safe zone. It's kind of a waste unless you really care about your safe zone being big. I know we were saying we're going to use the cultist gems for the anvil, but we're going to definitely use it here because we need it for crafting bench 4. And we're also going to try to craft this oil drill next, which is also going to require another gem. So we're going to go and save those just for a bit. Let's make this because we need the bed. Houses are good for loot, by the way, but sometimes you'll find wolves in here. So you got to just be careful of that. They like to hide in here. All right, we're ready for the wolf in here. We know there's got to be one in here. Yep, there he is. So we just found the cultist stronghold. This is where you're going to be able to get a lot of loot. Solo, it's going to be pretty tough. You could do it if you have like a ray gun or something because you have infinite ammo. Generally speaking, you want to do that with a group. The nice thing about the cultist stronghold though is that they have a ruby chest at the end. All right, we're going to upgrade our map. There we go. Level 5. So we just have one more to expand and we'll be max campfire. We're going to go and craft our good bed. And we're going to put these in. So you just grind these if you want to use them. And right here represents the number that you have. It doesn't show a count here. It just shows it on the side. So we have 3 of them now. And now we just need 20 scrap metal and 30 wood. All right, we have enough to craft the next workbench. We're going to go and do that. And next thing we're going to work on is the oil drill. We need 35 and 25. It's a bit of work, not too bad. Oh, here's a ruby chest right here. Open this ruby chest. These are super rare. Only one player can loot this, by the way. So if there's like a teammate nearby, you probably want to loot it before them. So we just got a tactical shotgun. You see, it turns into gold. So the next person that loots it is going to have a gold chest instead of the ruby. But this thing's really powerful. All right, we got enough for the oil drill. I want to show you this because it's kind of important how you set this up. The nice thing about this thing is it does create oil barrels for you, but you're going to notice something about this. So there's this little door here. Kind of hard to see because it's all green. You're going to want to position this in a way that the door is facing the fire and probably about, I want to say something like this. So if you're kind of facing it, I would say somewhere around there would be good. What's going to happen is the barrels are going to fly out of this. See this opening? They're going to fly out of here every now and then and into the fire. And they kind of launch a bit and they'll probably bounce. But as long as they're pretty close to the fire, they're going to burn. So this is going to be nice because it's basically an auto fuel type system. And that oil barrel is going to help us a ton to be able to get to level 6. It does take several days for it to process. So don't count on it like entirely just yet. And I'm going to talk through some of these other items real quick so you know what they do. So we got the ammo crate. This will help you craft ammo with scraps. So you need metal scraps. This is very, very expensive. It costs a lot to create ammo. So I wouldn't recommend using this unless you really, really needed to, because the ammo is really, really expensive. You need a lot of scraps for it, and scraps are kind of rare. And then you have the giant bed. Obviously we need this so we can, you know, get through the 99 nights faster. You also have a teleporter. You do need 2 of them. So you can craft one and put one in here, and then you can craft one somewhere else. So if you want to be able to travel faster, you can. So one of the main things we're missing right now is a lightning rod. We definitely need to get one of those just for our safety. And we're also going to rescue these kids. So let's go and do that. Now you'll notice I just got 2 diamonds because we just reached day 50, and you'll get 2 diamonds on day 50 and 3 diamonds on day 99. All right, here's the second kid. We just destroyed those alphas. It just launched some oil barrel in here and it just filled up a ton. So yeah, the thing is really nice. We're going to be able to max map pretty quickly. There we go, max map. Now we can reach everything. So you can see the edges are all the way revealed. And now we're going to be able to start getting some better loot. Let's go rescue the next kid as well. Hey, we got a bear pelt, some better armor. Got a better axe as well. That's nice. Ooh, another ruby chest. Score. And we got a right shield. So this item here will block shots of projectiles and melee. So like you can take a lot of hits with this thing. If you want to learn more about the alien update, by the way, which, you know, covers all these guys as well as the mothership, definitely check out the video. I'll link it in the description. There's our giant bed. This is the lightning rod, by the way. So if we ever have a storm again that has lightning, we're pretty much safe around this. There's our 8 times multiplier. We can get it faster. We're just going to rescue the last kid. And it looks like he's right behind us. So we'll go do that. All right. That's the bigger bears. They're not too bad. It's just, it might take a little while. So pretty much once you have these necessities, it's just survive. I mean, you're going to be cooking food. You can build more farms. You can do whatever you want, really. That's what's great about this game. That's why I like playing is every single time you play it, you can pretty much do whatever you want without a lot of stress. I could go around and get more upgrades. So much undiscovered yet. Of course, there's also grinding for diamonds, which you can then use for classes. Classes unlock different abilities. You can get different tools or weapons to start out with, and they're pretty fun. It makes the game just like each experience different. If you want to learn about all the different classes, definitely check out my classes video. I'll link it on the top right as well as in the description below. It doesn't include the newest classes, which are the alien and cyborg classes. You'll have to watch my alien video for that because those just came out right after I made that video. I'll go ahead and show you what the torch does. So you can see our current boundaries right here. If I place it, just extends it out a little bit, and you can keep placing more of these. So I want to explain the fairy here. So the fairy on the map, you can pretty much turn in flowers for seeds. It's kind of helpful in some ways, and other ways it's not. So you can see when you collect a flower, it shows a little count right here in the bottom right. It says 8. Well, the fairy is a shop for various seeds, and the seeds that you can buy are random. Sometimes you can get chili peppers. Chili peppers are great because they give you like speed boosts. The flowers are my favorite because flowers tend to have these like circles with items that spawn in the center of them. So if you're low on items and loot on the map, you can, you know, try to respawn them with flowers. You can also summon berries. You can summon fireflies. But yeah, fairies basically a seed shop dealer thing. It's kind of useless in my opinion, but in some ways it's not. Sometimes you kind of want seeds. Here's the bear trap, by the way, but you can pick them up after they get sprung. And you can drag them around and then reset them. Just be careful because you can take damage. There we go. Day 99. We got our 3 diamonds. And if this was your first time, you could claim your diamonds from the badges. At this stage, you can continue to play if you want, or you can leave. There's this whole cutscene animation here showing him like going into like these sewer things. And he looks back all sad because he didn't get to eat you. But yeah, it says more story and ending will be revealed soon. So they're going to be working on more ending kind of content here. See what they're going to do, like secret stories or side stories like they do with Break-In, because this is the dev for Break-In. So, you know, imagine what they're going to do. But yeah, that's pretty much how to play. I hope it was helpful to you. If it was, please do me a solid. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you'd like. Till next time, happy grinding. Peace.